All right, get ready for three movies that are all meh. So first up is The Bad Batch. This is a 2016 movie starring Suki Waterhouse, Jason Momoa, and then there's other celebrities that I won't say who are in this because it's kind of more fun if it's a surprise, even though this is a bad movie that I recommend you don't watch. So the basic premise is essentially there is this giant prison that's like a lawless area. I think it's between Texas and Mexico. It's definitely near Texas. That just like if you're a really bad criminal, you just get sent there, and it's kind of like a Mad Max esque world with like there's a cannibal camp, and then there's also like a drug ecstasy noodles camp. I don't know where they make the noodles from, but somehow they have noodles. Yeah, and like it's not good. What's really weird though is that for legit the first half of the movie, I really liked it. Like it had a really interesting premise. I like and a really interesting aesthetic, and I like the characters, and I just liked where they were going with everything. And it was like, oh, this is so exciting. And they did some really bold choices. Like I don't want to say what it was, because if someone does what I actually want to watch it, that like grabs you right away. It's so frustrating because that first half was really solid, and then the second half they just decided to kind of get rid of all logic and then just become more metaphorical. Like the end, I'm going to tell you what the message. I think the message of the movie is it's about leaving your comfort zone and kind of finding your happy place somewhere between cannibalism and noodles. It's about leaving your comfort zone, I guess, and it's why if you do end up watching it, it's at the drug trip sequence where, like, I like that scene because of how it was shot, but it kind of goes against a lot of what was happening. It kind of came out of nowhere, and then after that, like everything just went out the window. And like I was waiting for it. Like it wasn't like I didn't instantly hate it after that. It was just kind of like that. There's a clear turning point after that where it's just like, oh, okay, this is a different movie now. So yeah, it wasn't good, and it's upsetting. Yeah, it happens. Now on to Lucy in the Sky. So this is my third Natalie Portman movie, and then it also has John Hamm, Zazie Beatrice. This is my second one of hers. I don't know if I said her name right. I do like her a lot though. And then it's also my second Dan Stevens movie. And then it was directed by, oh, I just bring this back up, Noah Hawley, who did Legion, which the first season was amazing. The second season was all right, but then ended amazingly. And then he also made Fargo, the TV show, which I just finished the first season of and freaking loved. You should definitely watch Fargo. It's incredible. Also, Callie Mills, if you're watching this, I'm really excited that you're the social media person for season 4 of Fargo. Yay, we should talk. Anyway, yeah, so this movie is a movie, I guess. It's not good. It's really not good. So yeah, the premise of this is it's inspired by a real event where in the mid-aughts there was an astronaut who was married for a long time, had a lover, divorced her husband, but the lover broke up with her. The lover started dating someone else, and then the astronaut then drove 900 miles to either kidnap or kill the lover's new love. And the reason why the story really blew up is because supposedly the astronaut lady on the 900-mile drive from Texas to Florida was wearing adult diapers, so she wouldn't have to really stop for bathroom breaks. And the story, I remember when the story came out, that was super crazy and stuff. This movie isn't super crazy and stuff. It's just kind of weird and artsy, and I don't know what they were going for. Like, there's definitely got to be some like deeper meaning to stuff that's happening, but I can't figure it out. And everyone on the internet who talks about this movie is just like, this is a bad movie. It's so dumb. And I'm like, well, give me like your theories about what maybe the point of it is. And they're just like, no, this movie is dumb. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Well, I guess it's okay. If I were to guess what the meaning of the movie is, it's that space is super wonderful and a life-changing experience if you ever get to go. But watch out because it might make you crazy. But that's just a weird plot thing if it is. I don't know. Anyway, what's also going to jump out to you if you ever do watch this movie is that it's constantly changing aspect ratios. So, like the black bars are constantly shifting. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And I was like, let's find out what the meaning of all this is. Like, does it get closer when she's anxious? No, it's just kind of always in like a box shape. And then it switches to like super squished view when it's just like a cool establishing shot or something. There's got to be a meaning to all of them, but it just seems so random, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I actually had to pause the movie and take a nap for a bit because it made me sleepy. Yeah, which is a shame. And it kind of sucks that like another Natalie Portman I watched sucks, but I've watched all her good movies before, so now I gotta find all the other ones. I don't know. I still need to see Jackie though. I'm gonna try to watch Jackie at some point because apparently that one's supposed to be really, really good. But yeah, this one's not. It's not good. And finally, The Indian Road. See, I did what she did there with my hair flip because it's all long, so I can flip it. Anyway, so this is a 2017 movie. It's at the top. And it is a Kiwi movie directed and written by one of the lead actors from The Breaker-Upperers. So that's how I discovered it. And the poster just kind of grabbed me. I was like, ooh, this looks interesting. Let's just go for it. And then I immediately regretted that decision because this movie is bad. It's really bad. So the basic premise is there's a 16-year-old girl who runs away from home, ends up going hitchhiking, gets picked up by these two dudes, and then they get into a car accident. One of the dudes dies, so she ends up living with the other dude and his wife. And then the dead dude's daughter comes to live with them too for a little bit. Yeah, it's just super boring. Nothing happens in this movie. Like, that was a really exciting thing that came out of nowhere, but then nothing interesting and exciting happened until literally the very end of the movie. Like, with 30 seconds left, then another interesting thing happened. Everything else is kind of like a slice of life, but it's not like the Florida Project where it's a really interesting slice of life. This is just like people not really saying anything, not really doing anything. And the stuff that does happen, it's like it's super predictable, and you're like, no, don't do it, that's dumb. And then they do it, and you're like, okay, that happened. All right. Really, the three saving graces of this movie are just the Kiwi accent in general. It's adorable. And then the beautiful countryside. New Zealand is gorgeous. I would love to go visit there someday and see Emma and then my friends in Australia. But it's, beautiful. And Hobbiton. I'll go see Hobbiton is the main reason I would go to New Zealand. And then the third thing that saved this movie was the dude's wife has ridiculously beautiful, vivid blue eyes that just like demanded my attention, I guess. I don't know how to say it. She was just really pretty. And what's interesting though, too, is that this is one of my bottom three meh movies. And then the other two movies that are down there are similar in that they're also really bad movies, but then also have one of the lead characters is ridiculously pretty, and like just kind of like that's what saved the movie from me hating it, is just the fact that there was a really pretty woman in it. But then that makes me also wonder though, am I more lenient on those movies because of like the global pandemic and my isolationist, like I'm not really interacting with anyone in real life, so like am I just more like, is everyone more attractive because I'm just not seeing anyone? And then I'm more lenient on it because it's like, oh, they're celebrities, so like they're extra pretty, and just like I don't know, just something to think about, I guess. Isolation does lots of weird things to you, like my face. Okay, now I'm just going to tell you what the second interesting thing in the movie was, because I don't want anyone else to have to watch this to find out, because it actually is really freaking interesting. So the main teenage girl, she has a tattoo on her neck, and it's like a big mystery about what is it. We found early on, oh, it's a name of someone. And then we found out, oh, it's the name of her boyfriend. And then we found out later, oh, it's the name of her ex-boyfriend. And then literally at the very end of the movie, we find out why she ran away from home. And the reason is, this 16-year-old girl was sleeping with her mom's boyfriend, and they were madly in love, and going to run away together. So she got his name tattooed on her neck as a commemorative thing of their love. But then when she came home with that tattoo, the mom, figured out they were sleeping together, and so she kicked the boyfriend out, and then the 16-year-old girl, ran away from home. And it's that's interesting. It's freaking crazy, and probably true to life. I feel like that's definitely happened. Why couldn't the movie actually have been about that and not just like people grieving in weird ways and it's just nothing happening? Why did you wait to the very end of the freaking movie to tell us this really interesting thing? I hate you, movie. I don't hate you though. You're mad. It was remember, the woman's eyes saved it. If it wasn't for her eyes, you would totally be in the hate category.